Hi, this is my second video for the day. I'm getting kind of inspired. Um, I wanted to share a book with you, and it was the book that inspired me to pursue remote working, and um, and it's Robin Barrett, Barrett. I said her name wrong during the first video. I had 10-minute first video that I had to junk because I said her name wrong. But anyway, here's her book, Work from Home, so while you roam. And she lives in a uh, really big fifth wheel being pulled by a brand new truck. Her fifth wheel uh, mobile home is bigger than my apartment. Um, so she's proven the point that one can support themselves quite nicely by working remotely. Some people think being a remote worker is like, living in a van down by the river. Well, it could be, but it doesn't have to be. Reviewers have said about her book is that if you read her book, follow the leads that are in the book, if you don't make money, then you just don't want to make money. Okay. And it says here on the cover of the book, it says over 300 resources, remote, freelance, entrepreneur, contract labor, seasonal, side hustle, and professional. Professional means like, Java programmers and stuff like that. There's a lot of people working remotely. Corporations are going to realize after this pandemic that, when people are sheltering in places and working from home, that it really is cheaper to hire remote workers because if you don't have to house them with sticks and bricks, you don't have to provide them with equipment. They're taking care of independent contractors are taking care of their own medical benefits. They're taking care of their own like paying into disability and workman's comp and different things. It's cheaper, you know, to hire remote workers. And more companies are realizing this than ever. The the day of the gig economy is upon us, but it doesn't always have to be like driving 12 hours a day for Uber or Lyft and not even making minimum wage. Okay, why I was thinking about this in the first place. I follow Robin because she's very informative, and she teaches you uh, how to be independent, how to be financially independent, and also how to live off grid. And I'm fascinated with the whole nomadic community. So she had a video on recently, and I'll put the link to the video in the descriptions below about working remotely. What's it all about? And then she talked about, and she gave some examples, and I was very fascinated. And then she mentioned her book. So I went to Amazon. I bought her book for $9.99. It's a really good investment, you know. And I was like, my eyes were open, boom, like that, when I came to the teaching online, because see, when I took the the classes to prepare for the master's in teaching English as a foreign language at San Francisco State University, there was no internet. Okay, my plan was to get the TEFL master's, go to Japan, and meet my relatives. Okay, not only did transformational grammar kill me twice, but I was informed by many people, my academic advisors, and some people in my family that um, my going to Japan to teach English as a foreign language in order to meet my relatives was not really a good idea because, one, I'm a strange character. I'm an artist, right? And I'm an author. I'm an artist. I'm an astrologer, and um, if I went to Japan, my cousins would not be able to get married into a good family. And they're really trying hard to maintain their social status. And if I showed up, it is like, up, oh, game over, pal. The jig she is up. You're related to this weird half breed in America. I always tell people that my dad's from Mississippi and my mom's from Tokyo, so we're rice crackers. That doesn't fly. In Japan for my cousins. future marital happiness. So for those reasons, I decided to get my bachelor's in English literature because I was, as I said, I was running two horses with that chariot. When I showed up to file for my bachelor's, the lady who was processing my counting up on my units, she goes, "You have enough units here?" And I'm going, I didn't know which horse would win the race. I just figured I have a limited amount of time, limited opportunity to be able to go to school, with my financial aid while I'm a single mother on welfare with two kids. I had to take, 15, 18 units a semester just to try to figure out how I was going to get off of welfare and how I was going to be able to support myself and my children. And so she said, TMI, OMG, TMI. So anyway, so when people say, well, why do you have like a double BA? That's why, I didn't know which one was gonna, fly and help. And so the English literature helped me get my first job at the EPA as a GS4 clerk. Say they credited me with like 4 years of work experience because I had a bachelor's. So my whole hope for teaching English as a foreign language was sort of like shelved because I said, oh, I guess I'm never going to go to Japan. I'm never going to teach English as a foreign language. So there's that in a nutshell. So fast forward like a couple of decades, kids are grown, I got grandkids, all this stuff. And then the opportunity to pursue TEFL showed up again. And I went, well, wow, I don't have to waste the education that I got back at San Francisco State in the early 80s. My my BA was in 1984, it's like for those who read. So in Robin Barrett's book, I said her name wrong like 5 times in the other video, I counted over 40 different language schools when I stopped counting. And that was just in teaching English as a foreign language. There are other things that people can do to work remotely. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because a lot of people find themselves suddenly unemployed because where they're working, just like they had to shut their doors. Okay. It might be time to consider working remotely because if you can see this video, you have a computer, you have internet, and you can find work online through the internet, through your computer. And some of these jobs don't take like massive amounts of training or expertise. Some of them are, you know, uh, uh, like I was saying, like meta tagging photographs or being the beta tester for a website build. There, if you have any kind of secretarial skills, you can be a virtual administrative assistant. There's people who, a lot of jobs for Amazon, for instance, are remote workers. They do like call center stuff and they do HR stuff and there's all sorts of admin that is like all remote. So don't think of remote working as, just, being some troll underneath a freeway overpass with stolen car batteries powering up a laptop while you while you stalk women on Tinder. No, no, it can be totally respectable, and you don't have to live in a van, and you don't have to live in a fifth wheel. You can just be in your own apartment, using your own computer, and making money from home. And a lot of these jobs pay through PayPal, or they do direct deposit, a wire transfer to your bank account, and if you look through Robin's book, she's eh, done the research. She's vetted these organizations, and she's like, I trust her. She's a nice gal. So I'll put a link to her YouTube channel. I'll put a link to her video that she put up just the other day, and think about taking this moment of chaos and grabbing the opportunity that's inherent in chaos. Isn't there a Chinese ideogram or something that says chaos means it's opportunity and win the lotto or something? I have to, look it up. We'll Google that later. But so that's what I wanted to share with this particular video. Another video is going to be on free open source financial planning software. So like if you do become an independent contractor, you got to keep track of your stuff, who you're working for, when they pay, how much they paid, all this stuff that in a format that you can easily like, you know, uh, uh, fill out your taxes when it's all said and done. Because if you do this, and I'm positive that it's going to happen for me, if you do this, you will make money, and it's good to prepare ahead. I opened up a new email account, nora.jean.stone@gmail. I opened up this YouTube channel, and I'm documenting my process as I do this quest for making money remotely. Because if I can do this at 70, being a grandma of 5, you can do it at whatever age you're at, wherever location you're at. So uh, be positive, be hopeful, and be willing to retool um, the way you earn money and work remotely. Okay, that's it. Toodaloo.